Hey YouTube, my name is Kayla and today I will be reviewing Love After Lockup Season 2 Episode 4. So they talk a little bit about their future and getting married and all of this stuff, and she's just like, I'm not really ready to get into that. And I'm like, but you just had some unprotected sex with him, like, for real? Okay, that's what we're doing. Basically Matt is talking about, his job situation, and that he feels like since he's been locked up in prison, as if that was something that he didn't cause himself. But he continues to talk about, he feels like he should have this time to just relax and have fun since he's been locked up, and that he shouldn't have to just get whatever job. He wants to work something that he really likes and he's passionate about. And I'm like, I don't think so. The position that you're in, you kind of just got to do whatever you have to do to support yourself and Caitlyn and whatever family you might have. So I was like, boy, whatever. So Caitlyn is talking about how she's just worried, naturally so, that he won't be able to stay out of prison, that he won't be able to get or maintain a job. And I'm just like, sis, you should have thought about all of this before you wanted to make a life with somebody that was locked up, someone who hadn't been out of prison for a significant amount of time, to show that they could be a productive member of society. Like, people that have been in prison, they're definitely capable of that and they're worthy of that. But, you didn't really give this person a chance to show. So in the next scene, we see that Caitlyn and Matt have spent their first night at their log cabin resort thingy. And we get some much unneeded pillow talk commentary from Caitlyn, in which she's talking about, you didn't fill me up. And he like, filled you up? Filled you up with what? And she like, babies. And I'm like, So I'm just like, we didn't need that. So in the next scene, we see Matt and Caitlyn enjoying the nature area of this little log cabin resort that they're staying at. And basically, Matt gets down on one knee and proposes to Caitlyn. And, I can't be mad at her, in spite of her reservations and her being apprehensive and nervous about what the future holds for them. She's understandably excited. I still think this is a hot mess, but she said yes, and I can't wait to watch this train wreck unfold. So that's it for Matt and Caitlyn. Basically, Matt starts to talk a little bit about their future and marriage and what their life will be like together. And Caitlyn is like, I don't know if we need to be talking about all of that right now. Let's just focus on what we're doing and all of that. And I'm like, but you just had nasty, unprotected sex with him. So you gonna have a baby, but you're not considering marrying him right now? I didn't get that, but whatever. So in the confessional, we have Matt talking about, he has never really been out of prison for that long. Anytime he's gotten parole, he has violated it and had to go back for the past 7-8 years. And he's basically saying, while he wants to get a job, he feels like he's been in prison for a long time and he deserves to have a little fun and relax. I mean, he's talking as if prison is something that somebody else caused. I mean, it was your own actions. When you get out, you just have to get whatever job you can. You don't really have a choice. I mean, at some point, you can get a job that you desire, but for the time being, whatever employment you can get, that's what you got to do, boo-boo. So, and he's also talking about but then we see Caitlyn in her confessional. She's saying how nervous she is about, what the future holds, understandably. She's saying she hopes that he'll be able to stay out of prison. She says she hopes that he's able to attain employment and keep employment. But I mean, that's the chance you're taking, because you got to think he's fresh out of prison and he's been in and out of prison. He has never had to show that he could be a productive member of society. Like, and that's the weird thing. What I don't get with these couples is like, these people have been in and out of jail. What makes you think that they're going to just go right into some committed relationship and be some productive person and show that they can really contribute and be good and all of this stuff? Now, of course, everybody that's been in jail, it comes out they are capable and worthy of being productive members of society, but you gotta let them show you that they can do that before you make some big commitment. So good luck with that. So in the next scene, we see Matt and Caitlin hanging out in the camp area of the log cabin resort that they have, just enjoying nature and whatnot. And Matt gets down on one knee and proposes with a flower. That's true love. That's gold, sis. Yes, with the flower. Bless his heart. So in spite of Caitlin's reservations about the future and Matt being able to get employment and be able to stay out of jail and be able to thrive outside of jail, she says yes. I mean, I guess she got caught up in the moment and really didn't think about it, but she's excited and she accepts his proposal. I think it's going to be a hot mess, but I can't lie. This train wreck is going to be interesting to watch. So we'll see what happens. Next up, we have Clint and Tracy. Clint is out at the prison outside waiting. He is bucked up. He is waiting to see his prison boo. He's talking about, although he hopes that he isn't being catfished, he's going to love her anyway. So he waits and waits. He gets there at like 6 something in the morning, but maybe they misinformed him about the time, because she certainly did not get out that early. It's 7:30 and then it's 8 and then it's like 9 before she actually gets out. So finally, Tracy comes out of the prison, and I immediately just want to throw a bottle of bleach on her head. I said, girl, what are you doing? What in the name of zebras and black and white tuxedos is going on here? I'm sorry, but if your new growth is growing like that, where your natural hair color is vastly different from this new hair color that you put in, and you don't have access to, a black, something to just completely cover it up, get some scissors and cut that off, because that looked a hot ass mess. So she comes running towards Clint, and she's, of course, excited to see her man, and they embrace and exchange some nasty, sloppy kisses. There's just so many scenes in this episode that we just did not need to see, that we had to be a witness to, but we did. So Tracy is talking a little bit about her past and her having been in jail before, being released and going back in. And of course, she's just a little nervous about her being able to move on and be happy with Clint. And he's just so over the moon excited to be with her. He is like ecstatic and he can't wait to start this future with her. And I'm just like, baby, y'all good. So naturally, Tracy is excited to head somewhere and, get a makeup. I don't know, take a shower first. That didn't happen. Their first thought is to go to a salon and just deal with her hair first. So basically, they go to this very expensive salon, in my opinion. Or maybe I just don't go to the salon enough. But I'm like, y'all could have looked in the phone book or something, got on Google Maps and looked up a Fantastic Sam's or a Walmart just so she could get the basics done. When the ladies at the salon were throwing out those figures, $200 and $300, I would have been like, thanks for y'all time, but we can't afford that. So, but Clint, he's like, anything for my baby, whatever, I'm gonna spend this money that's really not my money to make her happy. So basically, Tracy gives him a list of necessities, and of course you expect it to be some basic things like deodorant and toothpaste, which that's what she asked for, but then also she wants all of these special fragrances and oils and juices and berries. And I'm like, okay, I mean, if he gonna do it, more power to you. And she's also telling him that she's gonna need a dress, and I'm like, I just don't know how you're gonna send Clint, the panty sniffing looking Clint out to buy you something that's gonna look nice, but you like it, I love it. So Clint goes out, and again, instead of using the Google Maps on his phone and finding a Victoria's Secret or Walmart or another store that would have affordable lingerie, he goes to, I guess, the most expensive boutique in town, lingerie boutique, to find her something for their wedding night. And he goes ahead and spends upwards $300 to $400 on lingerie, something that's gonna come off in 5 to 10 minutes on the wedding night. I mean, he's excited, but it's just like he's not using common sense. And, from previous episodes, it looks like his family is funding a lot of this. So I'm like, how can you spend so frivolously on, somebody else's card like that? Like, I just feel like he's making bad decisions, bad financial decisions right off the bat. I mean, this sales lady is up there talking mad game, talking about, this is your wedding, you're the love of your life, you want to do the best and do the most for her. So he a sucker and spent $300 to $400 on some damn lingerie, but that's his boo, and I guess he's gonna have to live and learn. So in the next scene, we see Clint is headed back to the salon so he can see the makeover that his beautiful fiance Tracy has gotten. And sis, she comes out looking like a $2 hooker. The dress was too short, too tight. You could see all her bra. I don't know who made this decision, but it was a bad one. Nevertheless, her hair looks great. It did look really nice. Her makeup looked pretty nice and modest, but that outfit, I don't know if that was something that they just gave her in the back room, or is that the outfit that Clint picked out for her? But it was all wrong. It kind of ruined that moment a little bit for me, but Clint is, of course, just very excited to see her. He thinks she looks great. I mean, if nothing else, we got to pretend she looks fabulous for that money he just spent on that blowout that she could have just went to Walmart or something for. But they are crazy about each other and excited about the future. So I wish them the best, but we'll see how this goes. So that's it for Clint and Tracy. Next up is Brittany and Marcelino. Brittany and Marcelino are headed to this casino resort hotel type deal. I was all kinds of confused. It looked like a log cabin or a Dick's Sporting Good, but then they had like real mermaids inside. So I was like, is this an aquarium hotel lodge? I don't know, but it's cute, I guess. And she's excited just to be out of prison, and she's expressing how she's like kind of embarrassed and nervous that she's in her prison clothes. I mean, they weren't like recognizable prison clothes, but I guess she's still just so used to that and wearing the same old outfit every day that she just wants to shower and get some new clothes. And Marcelino is like hella excited just to show her off. He's like, here, look at the mermaids, and look, this is cute, and that, look at that, babe. And she's like, can I just shower and change? So in the next scene, we see them heading to the room, and he has this beautiful romantic setup with rose petals and candles and soft lighting and some hideous green dress that she's like in a confessional. She's like, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but she's not a fan of the dress. But of course, she finds that it's a really sweet gesture, and she's not gonna say anything otherwise. So basically, and he's just ready to get to the act. He's ready to get them drawers, them prison drawers. And Brittany's on a whole nother page where she's just like, I need a shower, I need new clothes. And he is just like ready to get it in, get to the business. So I guess they had to compromise and just go in the bathroom and get it in and shower to make everybody happy. So we hear a bunch of rumbling around. We're not sure what's going on. Again, more porn scenes, I would consider it, going on. The sound we just really didn't need to hear. But basically, she sounds satisfied in the confessional. She's talking about, they were going back and forth about who was going to give oral first, and I guess she lost. And I'm like, oh, we didn't need to hear about it. But, next they head to dinner, and she's just like, did you ever think we'd really be here, just sitting here, just outside of prison, enjoying food, relaxing as a couple? And he's just like, yeah, like, I can't believe it either. And he goes on to ask her these, like, kind of serious life questions where he's like, where do you see us in 5 years? Where do you see you in 5 years? And Brittany's just like, I just want to enjoy my food right now. Like, she's like, just basically like, I'm comfortable right now. I'm just trying to relax and breathe fresh air. And you're up here asking me these serious questions. And he's just, I guess he tries to rephrase the question and be more like, I mean, what are your expectations? And she is like, hey, expectations lead to disappointments. And it kind of seems like they're definitely on two different pages about how they want their lives to go. She's more like free flowing, free spirited. Like, why can't we just enjoy the moment and go with the flow and just see where things go? Like, I care about you, I like you, but like, damn, like, do we have to put these timestamps on the future? And you got to keep in mind also that Brittany is like in her 20s and Marcelino is like 40. So you have him, he's like, no, wait, it ain't gonna be all of that. I'm 40 years old. I don't really have time for all of that. 40 years old, I'm like, I need to know what my future holds. And she is just like, well, I'm sorry, but you asked me a question and I'm answering it. I'm not going to give you the question you want to hear, the answer you want to hear. I can't lie. So he's just like, he got crunk or militant real fast and changed. Marcelino switched it up on us. He was like, look, if you could give me the opportunity to answer and respond, slow down, chill out. I was like, okay. He clicked out real fast. Got quite disrespectful, if you ask me. And Brittany's like, you're not going to talk to me like that. And he is just like a damn child or a parent dealing with the child. He takes her plate and moves it away. I'm like, who are you dealing with? Who is you dealing with, son? So she's basically frustrated. And in the confessional, she's talking about, like, Marcelino tries to give this impression like he is this cool, calm, and collected, older, mature guy, but he clearly has some issues. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Going into this, we're a more team Marcelino, like, what is this guy, this former Marine or military person doing with this chick out of prison? And I mean, it turns out, it seemed like he's a little ticky boom boom in the head, and that Brittany seems to be like the more sound, normal person in this situation, the one that sounds like she has a little bit more practical common sense. So that was definitely an eye-opening moment for me. So basically, Brittany's like, I'm not even dealing with this right now. Like, I'm getting up from this table. I'll see you back in the room. I guess I just don't really see how this relationship is going to work if they don't get on the same page. She's 27, 28. She still feels like she has a lot of fun years ahead of her, and he's more 40 years old. You tend to be looking for more commitment and more of a vision of where the future is going, and they're just on two different pages. But in order for it to work, they have to talk about it and be real with each other, because otherwise they're not going to make it. So that's it for Marcelino and Brittany. So next up, we have Michael, Sarah, Megan. It's so crazy that this is a threesome. This is a threesome that two people don't even know that they're in. Megan and Sarah have no idea how much they're being played. But we see basically Sarah, who is Michael's baby's mother, waiting anxiously. I mean, doing the absolute most, waiting for him to get out of jail. So nervous. I'm like, I get you excited, but please calm down. So he finally comes out, and she's wearing a shirt that says Queen, and then he has a matching shirt that says King, and they cute or whatever. And I'm just like, girl, you just don't even know. And at the same time, they're panning to the scenes with Megan, who is talking about how disappointed she is, how he played her at the airport. She was at the airport checking in for her flight, and he calls and he's like, no, don't come meet me out here. I want to surprise you. I mean, he gave absolutely no regard for her time and her money and all that spent to make this happen. I'm like, this dude is showing you who you are and you're just not even paying attention, listening, taking these cues watching these red flags, but whatever. She's in love. I guess she's blinded by it all, but she seems like a smart girl outside of all of this. I don't understand why she's not picking up on all these cues and signs. And so basically in the first scene with Megan, we see her talking about, although she's disappointed in everything, she talked to Michael that morning. He explained it a little bit more. It still didn't sound like a valid excuse to me, like given that she doesn't know what's going on, the whole grand scheme of things. Still, what he said on the phone was nothing that would make me be like, okay, I understand. Like, no. That was still really jacked up, and I hope that she really proceeds with caution. We see Megan sitting at the table with her brother, and her brother is still continuing to try to talk some sense into her. Get her to see the light, like XYZ. Like, you don't see that this is all headed in a crazy direction, and she's just like, we in love, and he explained that he has something more grand and better for us, and he wants to plan a surprise, and she's saying that he's like, you have invested so much in me, you've given me so much, so I want to plan something and give something back to you. And I'm like, that's bull, but whatever. So I mean, in the perfect world, she would wake up and get it, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. This po thing, she's gonna have to fall on her ass. So we go back to the scene with Sarah and Michael outside the jail, and she's of course like over the moon to see him, and they're embracing and excited to see each other, and she's just so like excited about their future together, and now he's free to live a life with them. And I'm just like, girl, you just don't even know. I really want to know what his plan is. I mean, is his plan to be like living some polygamous lifestyle? Like, he is completely disregarding that he has 2 women in 2 different states who are crazy about him, that's planning a life with him. What is his goal here? I don't think they want to be a part of this sister wife lifestyle. No, ma'am, I don't think so. So in the little interview in the confessional, the producer is asking him, like, you have Sarah over here with this shirt that say Queen. Like, how do you feel about that? What do you think about that? And he's like, well, Sarah is a queen, but my queen is Megan. And I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Like, you can only pick one. You can only pick one. I seriously doubt either of these women will be happy with this arrangement. So what's your end game here? What do you think is going to happen? You're going to hurt somebody's feelings big time in the process, and then the other person in the end might not want to be bothered with you because you've been a low down dirty dog all this time. So I don't get what his end game is here. Poor Megan, she has had her heart broken a couple of times, and she is ready to give it all up to him. Okay. And hopefully he doesn't, get that, before all of this comes out, because that's like a whole nother level of drama that she is going to experience being connected with him. So basically, really too? Disgusting ass dog. So basically, the episode ends with them talking to Megan a little bit more, and Megan is continuing to talk about how, although she feels hurt and betrayed and all of this, she still wants to give him another opportunity to make up. I think it's going to be another opportunity for him to break her heart and hurt her. And it sucks, but when you choose to just kind of proceed with love with these blinders on, that's something that can happen. I mean, it sucks for her, but I still can't wait to see how this all pans out. This is crazy. So that wraps up this week's episode of Love After Lockup, Washing Prison Off. If you haven't been able to tell already, this is my first video. I love Love After Lockup, 90 Day Fiance. They are my favorite shows. And I personally watch YouTubers' reviews on these shows every week. I really enjoy it. I mean, I just listen when I'm riding in the car, on my way to work. I am just listening while I'm doing my makeup or whatever. And I just said, whenever I'm watching these reviews, I just want to jump through the screen and talk to them myself. So I say, you know what? I want to get in on the conversation. So Thank you so much for taking time to listen to me today, ramble on about these couples. So thank you so much again for watching. See you next time. Peace.